There are fires that exist today that were created by nature and will never burn out. This natural phenomenon is called an eternal flame, specifically one fueled by natural gas. Depending on who you ask, there are about 9 eternal flames located all around the world, but only one of them is located inside of a waterfall and is close enough for me to visit. So I decided to pack my bags and visit one for myself to find the answer to the question everyone has on their mind. Are these things worth visiting, or is it just a boring fire? I started this journey off with a gorgeous road trip through the Northeast. Alright, so we're on our way to upstate Western New York, where the Eternal Flame Falls is located. Fun fact, this is actually near another falls that you might know, which is called Niagara Falls. My main goal in this video is to actually take a really cool professional looking photo of the Eternal Flame Falls, and my goal is to have this photo look so professional and cool that it's worthy enough to put in my house as a decoration. And so I kept driving for hours until I made it to our final destination. Good morning. I'm not a morning person, so this kind of really sucks right now. The reason why we're up so early in the morning is because we want to get there before the whole traffic of people get there. That isn't even a sentence. I don't even know. The Eternal Flame has gotten some traction, and we want to get there before the huge traffic of people get to the flames before us. Fun fact, a buffalo, 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 buffalo. That's a sentence, with Buffalo, New York being one of the nouns. I'm just gonna get ready now. After getting ready, I completely demolished a continental breakfast with Francis and then went on a short drive to Orchard Park, New York, which brought us to the entrance of our destination. Alright, the sun is really bright, but we're right outside of the falls right now. This is usually the point where a lot of YouTubers will probably pull out a list of 1-star reviews, but you know, that's too generic. Kiera Thoughts says, flame went off lol, not so eternal, haha. That'll be pretty concerning if the flame is out, so hopefully it's not today. Death Grizzly says, is tiny fire and waterfall, why do people care? And finally we have David Helms, doesn't allow you to choose your own path. We're gonna go in and see if all of that is true. So the first thing we did was check the trail map to make sure we didn't get lost, and I immediately found out that David was capping. There are actually 10 total trails with different difficulties that are all interconnected in the park, so you can definitely choose your own path. We started walking through the trail and it honestly felt pretty inviting. The trail markers even had a little flame emoji, which was kinda cute. Going further in, I was absolutely stunned by how beautiful the scenery was with all the trees.
Not gonna lie, I feel like I'm in Lord of the Rings. I'm a hobbit.
But then, we walked a little bit off path and things started getting kinda dangerous. Oh wow. Stay on designated trail. It's followed by the steepest drop off I've ever seen. So yeah, we just decided to enjoy the scenery on the main path.
We're going to the Eternal Flame Falls, right? You know what else is an eternal flame? Mordor. So yeah, we definitely on a mission to return that ring.
After taking in all the natural beauty, I realized that this was my first time being on a trail where you need to walk through a stream of water. So thank God I brought hiking boots, or I probably would have slipped and made a fool of myself. Moving forward, we saw a lot of fallen trees, and I found out that we were actually at the bottom of the huge cliff we saw earlier. So there's a shortcut if you're trying to speedrun this trail. The trail being on a stream eventually made sense because in the distance we finally caught a glimpse of the eternal flame sheltered by a waterfall. Oh my god, it's there. It looks like we got here early enough, so there isn't a huge line of people.
And here it is, the eternal flame. Also, please like, comment, and subscribe. I kinda expected there to actually be a cool waterfall to look at, but the good news is that the fire was lit, so Kara Thoughts was also capping. Also, the location around the flame looked surreal, as if nature decided to just make space for this fire.
So what people don't say is that it smells like rotten eggs, probably because of the natural sulfur that's coming out of it.
Looking at the flame was cool and all, but I'm a man on a mission to take the best photo of this thing, so I set up my gear and started taking some shots. But it turns out that taking photos of a fire is a lot harder than you expect.
Oh, this is annoying.
You see, my competition is photos that look like this. A majority of them are long exposure, so I tried to replicate that, but there were two problems. One, there's no waterfall. Two, long exposure photos of fires look like this. This kind of looks more like a flamethrower than a flame, so I decided to do my own thing and take photos of just the flame. And turns out that fires like making funny shapes that make them not look like fires. But after a bunch of trial and error, I think I took the perfect photo, so I hiked back out, got back in my car, drove home, and started editing the photos, which really made me think about the final review. It's tiny fire and waterfall, why do people care? I mean, for some people, it probably is just that, but maybe it's not just about the tiny flame and waterfall. Maybe it's about the grueling drive to get there. Maybe it's about the chance to eat a continental breakfast. Maybe it's about proving David Helms wrong. About going off path. About exploring the nature. About being upset there's no waterfall. About seeing the flame in person. About taking challenging photos. Or maybe it's about making a memory that you'll never forget.